Hey guys, it's Becky and today I'm going to be reviewing The Sin Eater by Megan Campisi. I was reading this in my reading vlog the other week and I just haven't gotten around to filming this video yet, but I really enjoyed it. It was way out of my comfort zone. It's actually a historical fiction. I expected it to be fantasy and it definitely is not. For some reason, I know exactly why I thought this. I thought Sin Eaters were kind of fantasy creatures, but actually Sin Eaters, at least in this book, I'm not sure if they actually were sin eaters in the past. Sin eaters are women who are forced to be sin eaters. They aren't allowed to talk to anyone except for when they are being told the sins of people on their deathbed. So they are told the sins and then they tell the family what food should be kept on the coffin, and then when they die they come and eat the food which symbolizes the sins, and yeah, they eat the sins, but they're being forced into this labor as they're often people who have been put into prison and then are given this as a judgment on them. It means they're not allowed to talk to anybody else. They are fully marked up with a tattoo on the tongue and a locked collar around their neck. And it really starts when our main character is forced into being a sin eater after she steals a loaf of bread, I believe it is, and she has to change her entire life. The book itself is set in a Tudor England world, and whilst it's not real historical fiction in that all the names are changed, it does feel very much like the Elizabeth versus Mary Queen of Scots style of time period. Although I did find out that the wordery kind of product page does say it's in an Elizabethan era, so it could possibly be that it used to be like this and then the names were changed at a later date. I'm not sure. The book starts off with May kind of learning to become a sin eater. She goes to live with the only other sin eater in the town, and she finds it quite hard to not be able to talk to anyone and to not be in her family home and to be kind of shunned by everyone that she used to know. When she starts to settle into her life with the other sin eater, her life is kind of unhinged all over again. When they go to a royal court in order to find out the sins of a person in the court, and when it comes to eating the sins, there is food on the coffin that was not admitted to the sin eaters beforehand. This part of the book really is the center of most of the conflict, as it sets up the mystery, but it also sets up May's grief and resolve to find out what happened. When the original sin eater refuses to eat the food because of the thing that wasn't admitted, she is killed. And because May does eat it in order to not be kind of attacked or taken away, it means that she questions whether she could have stopped her friend being killed, because if she had also refused, it would have meant there was no sin eaters in the town, and it would also have shown a united front that something was wrong and it might have been investigated more. May's grief is definitely written so well into her character, and the point of which she doesn't help her friend is something that she constantly goes back to and she feels bad about. And she's got a lot of emotions about it which are shown throughout the book, so pushes forwards in the actions she does. On top of the main mystery throughout the book of who put the food on top of the coffin, there's lots of different secrets that May as a sin eater finds out in a way that only a sin eater could. As a sin eater, she can get into pretty much anywhere she wants because none of the guards will talk to her to tell her not to go there, and none of them will interact with her in any way. Because she's a sin eater, she also can't talk to other people, which means people don't really feel bad about speaking in front of her, and a lot of the royal courts talk and gossip in front of her without any kind of worry that she's going to tell other people and it's going to get out. This is one of the main reasons why I liked her as a character, because she's so different to other characters as she can find out these secrets. The main mystery isn't even something she's actively trying to uncover at some points. It's just some things that she happens to find out and she doesn't really have a place in the story other than that she's overhearing it. She's a little bit like our narrator to the mystery as a whole, rather than us being part of the royal court or something that we would have in a usual book. The bad thing about this is that she doesn't really link up to the story well, There is one link, but it's very, very loose, and I wouldn't really call it a link. And you find out quite far into the book anyway. However, May does have some mysteries of her own and secrets about her family that she also wants to uncover. As a child, she was actually kidnapped by the mother's side of her family in order to do something. But she was too young to really understand what was happening, and I think she was too young to really understand that she needed to find out why this was the case. Luckily, for the most part, she managed to get out of that, and she had a good life with her father for most of her time. However, she does kind of go back to this family at some point to discover why she was kidnapped, and it helps her understand herself better. As a sin eater, she also seems to collect people who are also shunned in this society. It happens that her house starts to become overrun with people who are also outcasts, and whilst they still don't talk to her because she's a sin eater, I really enjoyed the sense of fan family that we got. She felt a little bit of comfort with them being there, and she started to relax into them being in her house and them being kind of her friends despite not communicating. The found family kind of is a pivotal moment in part of the book, and it really hinges on the kindness she showed by not kicking them out straight away. So overall, I really liked kind of the mysteries. I liked our main character and her thought processes, as that's all we could hear because she wasn't allowed to talk. And I liked the bonds she managed to form with people despite not being able to communicate in the same way. The world building wasn't huge because it was quite obviously a Tudor era town and there wasn't a lot of imagination going around. However, the mystery around the royal court, the mystery around May's family, all really helped to kind of build a story that you wanted to get to the bottom of. And I really liked that there was a happy ending as well for all those involved. Despite this being nothing like what I expected and being nothing like any of the books I normally read, I really enjoyed reading it, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone who likes historical fiction or likes to read something a little bit different now and then. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.